Come on. Watch out. Hi, I'm Grant Nelson. This is my dog Bailey here to my right, and welcome to Mustache Off Grid. Oh, wow! Woo! Hi, it's Grant Nelson again here with the Mustache Off Grid YouTube channel. In case you're new to the channel, I cover various off-grid and homesteading topics. I live off-grid in southern Missouri in a one-room cabin. So I'll just get straight into the topic as usual. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about frugality on a homestead. I know it's a topic I've covered a little bit here and there in certain videos, but I've talked about grocery budgeting and things like that in some of my videos. You could probably go back through the archives and look through it. I have a playlist of all my weekly talk shows. So, but anyway, I went up to the sale barn this week, and this weekend they have a sale here in Koshkonong, Missouri, on the first and second Saturday of every month, pending holidays, things like that. They also do some exotic auctions where they auction off zebras and camels and bison and all kinds of cool animals. But anyway, this was just a regular auction. I ended up getting two little feeder pigs for $17.50 a piece. Well, guys, here's the pig. You can see him. Hey, Bailey, come here. He's a little nervous. Get out of here. Get out of here. You can see him. He's a little nervous. Bailey, come on. No, no, no. Here's the pig, guys. You can see him. He's a little nervous, but he's liking this corn I gave him. I named him Cornelius because he likes corn. But I've been very excited for him. He's fun to watch. You can hear Bailey don't like him. Bailey's got shocked by the fence a few times. But anyway, figured you guys would enjoy seeing the pig a little bit in the video. Look at him eat. I got one for me and one for my friend. I might get another one if I go up there again to sell some rabbits. I also sold 21 rabbits at the auction. I got about $80-some after commission. And they were mostly little bunnies, so that actually worked out pretty decent, and it paid for the pigs that I bought. I would say I made maybe a little bit of profit on the rabbits, you know, minus the hogs that I bought. I also bought a chainsaw for $3. The fuel lines on it are bad, but I can fix the fuel lines easily, and I'll probably make a video on that just so you guys can see me fix the fuel lines on it. It seemed like a pretty nice saw, actually. But when I'm talking about frugality, sometimes looking at your local area can be a good way to save some money homesteading. They also sold a bunch of used tin at the auction. I almost wanted to buy it, but it was 16 foot. I didn't really have a way to haul it. Otherwise, I might have bought it for the log cabin I'm building. But anyway, if you're buying everything new and building a brand new constructed house or something like that off-grid, it's going to cost you a lot more than if you're using the lumber on your property, using the local resources, and buying used materials. Maybe there's a tear down old barn you could do for someone. Sometimes they'll give away a whole barn, all the wood and tin, to you know, whoever will tear it down if it's an old enough building. And then you've got all that wood and all that material you could use to build yourself a building, a chicken coop or something like that. Or you could even build your own cabin with it if you wanted to. So, I mean, using the resources around you locally is a good way to save some money off-grid if you're trying to live on a budget. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, local auctions and flea markets, places like that you can buy used are a great resource to find some used items, cheap items that are still work fine. They still are good, and otherwise they're just going to go to the scrapyard, so might as well use something out of them. You know, there's a lot of things. Like I have a bunch of old tires in my woods, and I think I'm going to take the tires and stack them up and build a deer blind out of it. So you can use a lot of resources on your property. There's rocks galore to save money on cement. There's trees to build the log cabin, like I'm building the log cabin out of straight logs, and I honestly think I might be able to do it for less than like $500 to $1,000 in total material, because I am going to buy a couple things. But all the logs I hand cut, I'm going to hew them with an axe and everything like that, and you know, debark them, and you know, I'm using those materials. I'm not having to buy any wood in that situation. So, you know, think about when you're doing a project on your homestead, if there's a way you can do it cheaper. If you're trying to get a chainsaw, maybe you can buy a used chainsaw on Facebook Marketplace for half the price of the store. I've seen some on there half the price of the chainsaw, and they've only been used once or twice. Things like that. Used cars, used vehicles. Maybe you can get one that's not running and get it started. Dog just got shocked over there by the electric fence. He's learning. Once he's learning about the fence. But anyway, I'll have a video this week of the auction. Just give you guys a little sneak peek on how an auction works. You got to make sure if you go to an auction, know your local auction, because there is some that will try to, you know, take advantage of a new, you know, or timid person in the auction barn and see if they can get you to bid, or see if they can stick things on you if you're in the wrong one. So you got to make sure that you're aggressive, alert, and aware. And if you buy something or sell something and you're not okay with the price or anything like that, make sure that before that thing walks out of the ring, you say, hey, I only want one, or I'm not good with that price, no sale. Make sure you settle that before it leaves the ring. If you go to an auction barn, sometimes you got to step up and be aggressive in certain situations if you're doing a lot of business there. So just keep that in mind. You know, if you do go to an auction barn, I think it's a good place if you've never seen farm animals and you're wanting to homestead and grow your own meat. It's a good place to go there and see some of the animals and just kind of get an idea on what a demeanor of different animals is. And maybe it's kind of like a petting zoo if you're just a spectator. Maybe you want to buy some animals there. A lot of the animals at the sale barn are call animals, so they aren't always the top of the line. Some of them are. There is a lot of illness. They bring things that are sick through there sometimes that they're just trying to get rid of for hamburger meat or something like that. So just keep that in mind if you do go to an auction barn to buy animals, that you need to look at them. You can go in the pen and look at them usually and touch them and examine them a little bit and make sure it's what you're wanting to buy before it goes in the ring or before you bid on it. Other things I figured I'd mention, I've been deer hunting hard, and I'll tell you, I think that, you know, it just seems like there's not as many around. My property's completely surrounded by hunters. I'm seeing a few here and there, but they're out of range and stuff. But I'm going to go tomorrow and see if I can get one. I've been having trouble getting the deer this year. A lot of bad luck. I had one buck the day before rifle season that was going to get right in the clearing, about 5 more feet. And all the way at the house, which is like 5 to 10 acres away, Bailey started barking and scared the deer away. So that was a little ridiculous, and I would have easily got that one. That was about a guaranteed thing, it seemed like. As guaranteed as you can get, because it's never guaranteed. Things happen every time. A little twig snaps and, you know, the thing goes running off. First day of rifle season, I turned around when I was leaving at about 10:30 or 10:45 because I had some business to take care of. And there was a buck right behind me, ran off, and you know, I was putting my gun away. It was in the case, and you know, I didn't get a shot on it. So I've just been having a lot of bad luck. I saw a coyote one day run about 10 feet from me. What else happened? I've had some that were, you know, 10 yards from me, and they were through some brush or something, and I couldn't get a shot on them, and I was just waiting for them to come around the corner, and they never did. I've just had a lot of bad luck. I missed a shot or two. So, I mean, just things like that happen sometimes when you're hunting, guys. Be patient. Make sure that, you know, and the more time in the woods, the better. I think that I have a good chance at getting one tomorrow. I talked with the guy that leases the property behind mine because he's been hunting a little bit, and I asked him if I could go back there. So I'm probably going to go back there tomorrow morning and see if I can get one. Just update on the deer hunting, guys, because I have been hunting quite a bit. Other things I was going to talk about I've recently been having to deal with car registration here in Missouri. And they have safety inspections in Missouri. And they failed my car because they said the muffler was loud. So I got to go get the muffler looked at today. Things like that just make me want to get a horse for my travels and my, um, you know, for my travels and for my lifestyle. I'm just tired of mechanical vehicles. And like I said, I do have a 10-year goal to get rid of my cars and get rid of my cell phone. So that's a 10-year goal, long-term goal. I think things would be a lot cheaper. I think it'd be almost the same price, and that way I don't have to, you don't have to register a horse. Actually, my Amish friend came in the driveway the other day. He was returning a little rabbit cage because I sold him a couple live rabbits, and I sell all my rabbits live, by the way. And I asked him if he had to register his buggy. I was just joking around with him, and he said, "No, we don't have to register the buggies." You know, he thought I was being serious, but I was just joking. But he's a nice guy. I've talked about him in some of my other videos here. I asked him if he was cutting hickory. I'm probably gonna cut some hickory this week in the next couple weeks here. My family's coming down for Thanksgiving time. So I'm excited for that, and we're probably going to go see some caves out here in Missouri. I love the caves. I have a video on Blanchard Springs Cave in Arkansas if you guys are interested in checking that out. The Ozarks are a beautiful place, and caves are one of the things we're known for. There's a lot of local caves that are private that I haven't went in yet, but I've got a lot of I think eventually maybe some people let me go in some, maybe. It's exciting to explore caves like that, you know. A lot of good history in the Ozarks. I was actually reading the other day about Jesse James and all the people that claimed to be him after he died. And actually his mother lived pretty close to me. And the Pinkertons actually came out here to look for him, because his mother lived nearby, and I think that's kind of one of the ways that they tracked him, was because he went there. So anyway, just a little bit of history for you guys, just a little bit of you know, just a ramble there. And I try to get I like reading about the Wild West and the frontier lifestyle and different things like that, because you know, I try to live a more old-fashioned lifestyle. So I'm, you know, one step at a time. I'm getting more and more off grid, and hopefully my pigs, which I'm excited to watch, man, they are fun to watch out there running around on the ground. I've never raised a pig. I've never owned a pig. This is my first one. But they're a lot funner, in my opinion, to watch than the sheep, because the sheep are more peaceful out there, and the pigs really aggressive out there going around ridden. But anyway, I need the lard. The lard prices are ridiculous right now. Now, guys, sorry for this pause here. It's a real rainy day, so I've just been kind of trying to shoot this video in inclement weather for you guys, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit in the video as well about, I'm no expert on pigs, not yet. But there's a couple fundamental basics for raising any animal. One, you got to feed them. Two, you got to water them. Three, you got to know how to process them. And you can't treat them like a pet unless they are a pet. So anyway, them are the couple fundamentals I would say about raising animals. You got to feed them, got to water them. Every animal has those two characteristics. So if you've never raised an animal, just know you're going to at least have to do those two things. Another thing I'd like to mention is a couple tips that I've learned about pigs in my short time having pigs. First thing I learned, one, they can be aggressive. You can't treat them like a puppy dog type of animal. I mean, you can, eventually they might get used to you, but they can be very aggressive. They have sharp teeth. They can take a chunk out of you. They have killed people, bigger ones anyway. You know, you see all them movies and they talk about feeding the, you know, person to the pig and stuff like that. And that's real. That's reality. The pigs will eat a human if you put it out there in their pasture. But But just keep in mind they are aggressive. That one actually tried to nip me a few times, and you know, I just figured I'd mention that to you guys. Second thing, if you get a boar piglet like that, you're gonna have to castrate them. It is a process that is not for the weary or the inexperienced, I guess you could say. I mean, you could do it if you're inexperienced, but you better make sure that you're ready to do it when you are. I'm gonna do that. But it's not for the squeamish, is how I would put it. Castrating a piglet. I'm not probably going to make a video on it, but there's tons of videos on YouTube. I've watched them all. I am planning on castrating that boar piglet this weekend. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to castrate boar piglets if you get them, unless you're selling them as baby boars or breeding boars. But the odds of someone wanting, I mean, the boars are worth way less than the barrows if you're raising them for meat. So just keep that in mind. And don't go in there thinking that you can just pet the pig, like I said, because they are aggressive. They can bite your finger off, the bigger ones. So just keep that in mind. Wear long pants. Wear, you know, thick boots when you're out there, because they might try to bite your heel. Something like that. So that's a couple things I've already learned. Not that I enjoy watching the pigs. I'm going to treat the pig humanely, and, you know, I'm going to enjoy having it around. But I'm just telling you, you got to be aware this is an animal. Pigs are actually one of the few animals that adapt to the environment the quickest. Like, if you let a pig loose, it'll turn wild. So just keep that in mind as well. You know, when you're raising them, you don't want them to get loose and have a bunch of wild pigs going around. Then you're causing a problem for the whole area. Actually, I think they said, I was watching a video, and they said that all the wild boars and pigs in the U.S. Started with a very small amount, like 16 or 60 pigs or something like that, that were released here, I think, by the Spanish back in like the 1600s. So every wild pig in the U.S. now came from a very small batch, and that just shows you how invasive they can be. So you don't want to be letting a bunch of letting your pigs run wild. I'm pasture raising my pigs, so they're going to get a wild diet, and I'm going to give them corn and some other things, but just keep that in mind. Second, you can feed pigs most of your, I mean, I guess it's not second, but another point, you can feed pigs a lot of your table scraps, things like that. It's a good way to supplement the diet. I'm trying to make mine real fat. If you're trying to do real lean hogs, you're going to want to feed more protein, less corn, things like that. Those are just a couple things I've learned in my short time having pigs. Living off-grid, I'm always learning new things, new skills, new things. And this is one of those things that's new to me, so I'm consistently learning new things about it. Another thing that's funny, the electric fence. I was touching the electric fence, and it felt weak. And the only issue was that my shoes were actually grounding me. So my shoes were actually grounding me. That's why it felt weak. So when I touched one hand of the wire, one hand of the ground, it was a lot bigger jolt than when I just touched the wire with one hand. My shoes, the rubber soles on my shoes, were actually grounding me. So keep that in mind if you're setting up an electric fence as well and it feels weak. They do make volt testers, things like that. That may be something to get if you're interested in that. But just know, if you're feeling the shock, it might be a lot stronger than you think, because rubber soles on your shoes can ground you. So that's just a couple other things that I've learned, you know, this week, working on the pigs and things like that. Another thing I've learned about pigs is kind of how to handle them, especially the piglets. You can grab them by the back legs and basically grab them by one leg, and they'll hang. Their joints don't pull out of the socket like other animals, like dogs and cats and things like that. They can kick fully backwards if they wanted to. So you won't break their leg grabbing them by the back leg. That was something I figured I'd mention. The bigger ones you're not going to be able to grab. Once they get to like 100 pounds, you're probably not going to be able to grab them. So that's just another thing I learned, is kind of how to handle pigs. You can, you know, grab them like this. You don't want to put their head next to your face. You don't want them to bite you in the face. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, they're interesting. Eventually, I plan to get cooney pigs. I guess they're coon, I guess they call them. But for now, I want some bigger hogs to clear out the stumps and the land out there. So that's my plans with the pigs. Really fun to watch, though. Really enjoying it. Anyway, just figured I'd add this in. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and tune in next week. You ready, boy? You ready, boy? He looks ready, don't he, guys? You couldn't even catch it that close. Come on. Come on, eat that. Hey, get this one. You don't want it. Here. Nice catch. Nice catch. All right, ready, guys? Come on. Hey, stay, Bailey. All right, here he comes. Sit. 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 Come on. All right, we'll give him one more. 3 for the week. Hey, sit. 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 You need to sit. Sit. Sit down. Sit down. There we go. All right, we'll just give you that one. Good boy. Good boy.